Hey guys, what's up? Today we are doing a new series and we're going to be showing you how to do coffee brewing methods. The first one that we're going to do today is going to be really simple, really basic for you guys to understand, and also to the point that you guys don't need expensive equipment to use, such as like a kettle like this, which is like really expensive, or using a scale with measuring and stuff like that. It can get a little confusing, but also those scales are pretty expensive too. And especially during a time right now, we don't really have like the money or anything like that because we're trying to save up on food because of the whole quarantine situation we're in, which is very understandable. But we kind of came up with this method because of that situation. So basically, all that you'll need is a pot, a lid, a spoon, and some sort of measuring vessel for water. I'm using a mason jar, which has like little measurement increments on it. But you can also use like a little cup, like shaped like kind of like this big, if that makes sense. But basically the measurement that you want to use for water is 2 cups. So we're gonna fill up to the 8 ounces twice. So all we're gonna do is fill this cup guy up right now. All right, and we're gonna pour that into that guy. And just make sure not to spill because we don't really want to make a mess right now. Cool. All right. So after that's done, all we're gonna do is just turn on the heat. Which I don't even know how to use my own oven, but there we go.
Stove.
Stove. Why this? It's late. It's 10:04 at night. It's not the morning, but yeah. So we're gonna put the heat on high, and we're gonna let it get to a simmer. We don't want to let it get to a boil because the coffee will over extract, and you'll get a lot of bitter, more acidic taste that you don't really want in it. Yeah. So as we wait for that to simmer, we actually already have some ground coffee right over here, as you can see. Ta-da! And it is our Art3mis Blend, which you can purchase this bad boy online at alwayscoffee.co. It's free shipping if you live local within Santa Clarita Valley, but then there is a shipping option if you live further away, and we're more than happy to ship that off to you guys. Anyhow, so we're gonna wait for it to get to a simmer, and once it gets there, all we're gonna do is put roughly 4 tablespoons in this guy. Over the next few days, we're actually going to be showing you guys a little bit more difficult techniques that have different brewing methods and different vessels that we're going to be using. But again, you also want to keep an eye on the water because this amount of water will get hot really quick. And the whole thing about coffee is that it is relative. So if it gets to a point where you brew this and it's not strong enough for you, the next batch, put some more coffee in it. It's going to taste even better for you. It's going to taste stronger. Add less water if you need to. Put up the proportion if you need to. So like this will only fill up, which these are our cups right here. Only fill up these guys, like both of these guys together, like halfway, which is the amount of coffee that we like to have in like one sitting. And I know a lot of you guys love your coffee and love drinking a bunch of it. So like you can always double the proportion if you want to. Or if you have like a family of people that you want to give coffee to, like you could always up that portion too. So yeah, and we're starting to get there with the simmer, but yeah, we're just gonna wait, listen to some nice music, and yeah, we're almost there to the simmer. Yeah, if you want to see also the amount of water that's in here, move around a little bit to show you. It's not too much water. And also the coffee that, so we also do have an option whether to grind it or have it whole on our website. And this was actually roasted fresh today. So this is kind of the simmer that we're going to get it to, which is just about there. Look at this. Just about there. We're going to turn off the heat, remove it from the burner because that's already still hot or still warm. And then what we're going to do, really simple, is we're going to put our coffee about that much 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna put that to the side. And then what we're gonna do is, like I said earlier, we're gonna stir this guy in, this bad boy in, just like this. Try to get all the dry grounds like wet so we get everything extracted out nicely. And then there's going to be a little foam. If it's really fresh, there's going to be a little foam on top. And that's basically what we call the crema. And it kind of just shows how fresh the coffee is. And that's just all the oxidation, all the gas that's coming out. So the next step is after we get it all evenly wet, we just top it with a lid. Set a timer for 5 minutes. And there we go. So the next question is, so I'm going to pour my coffee into cups. Like, what do I do with the grinds that are in there? So this is a method where you don't actually have to filter. Again, this is a technique where you don't have to use any sort of expensive equipment or anything like that. So what's happening is that since we've already got the water heated up, the coffee is now sitting and settling down. So the coffee is heavy enough that it'll actually sink to the bottom, and to the point that when you pour it, it'll actually be stuck kind of like in the corner to where you'll get a pretty clean cup. And what I mean by that is that you won't get a lot of grinds coming out of the pot into the cup. Now, if you see like 3, 4, 5 like little grounds of coffee like floating around in there, it's not harmful or anything like that. You can drink it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it tastes pretty good. But for what we're doing, it's a pretty good cup that you're getting. And again, this method is also called an immersion method, which is what it is. You're directly, the coffee is directly contacting the water. There's no filter in between it, and that allows for more oils and more of that fatty goodness to come out of the coffee. So you're really getting a full experience with the coffee. So now at this point, we're actually going to add our sugar, because props to all of y'all that drink it black, but Matt's and I like it a little bit of sugar in it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to just spin for that guy. And the reason I highly suggest to add sugar before you pour the coffee in is because while the coffee is at its hottest point possible after the brewing is done and you pour it directly over sugar, it does something really magical that allows it to just melt the sugar and kind of infuse it more with the coffee. Scientifically, I don't really know what's happening, but it tastes pretty darn good. So, alright, and that's that. Alright, and then we wait. So we're about at the 2-minute mark, and you're gonna kind of see. You're probably gonna be at the point where you can't really see the coffee inside. It's kind of gonna look either foggy or misty or just some water moisture laying on the top, and that's perfectly normal. Again, this is really a go-to if you don't have any equipment and you don't really know how to brew coffee, and this is basically in like really, really simple terms of just how to make coffee. Decent enough for all of y'all that are desperate and need your caffeine or just like the taste. And also some of y'all have already bought coffee and don't really know how to make it or what to do with it. So this is kind of like,
We're here to help.
yeah, we're here to help you with that. This is kind of the best method to use. And a lot of you do have the equipment, such as a lot of you guys that have bought do have French presses. Some of you guys do have more advanced like Chemexes or V60s. And I forgot the other one, what it's called. But we're actually going to be doing like brewing methods on that. But again, it's all relative. The recipe that we use is not a recipe that is the only way, the must, that's what you should do. You could always toy around with it, play around with it, and just like see what you guys come up with. And if you guys can actually, after you guys do this brewing method, comment down below. Let us know what you think, if it tastes really good, if If it doesn't taste that great, if you messed with it, like, let us know. Like, we are super, super intrigued by what outcomes you guys get. So, yeah. So we're almost done with brewing. And then we're going to be able to see all the magic happening.
I love the elevator music.
I think it's more coffee shop music.
It's avocado.
Alright.
10 seconds.
Let you guys watch me wait. Cool. Cool. So, it's done. All you have to do is just take the pot off. Just take the pot off and just throw it on the ground. You take the lid off. And then that's basically kind of your outcome. You don't want to mix it. You don't want to tamper it. Or like do anything with it except that. So then all you're going to do, which I'm actually going to put this right there, is literally just pour. Okay. Yeah, I'm just making it even for both of us because fair's fair. Cool. Okay. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm still leaving some coffee in there. Now, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but if I pull back, all the grinds are right there in that corner. So they actually did stay. And then the reason why I'm not pouring all the coffee in, because all those grinds will just suddenly dump out of nowhere. So you just want to have a nice pour technique, as in just pouring slowly enough and watching it and just like guiding the coffee in your cup. And we've made 2 nice looking cups of coffee. I'll get down on that. Kind of cool. Again, this is if like you really, really need your cup of coffee and you just don't know how to do it. And then you always want to stir it, you know? All the sugar's still at the bottom, but you want it to melt in really nice. Man, you could drink it black. You could add some sugar. You could add 20 spoonfuls of sugar. Yeah, that's a hard one to say. Add a bunch of milk if you want to. Let it cool down and add some ice. Do whatever you want to do to it, because what matters is that you're happy with it, you know? And that it does the job for you, wakes you up, gets you on that caffeine high, and gets you through your day. But, here. I'd like to try that. Cheers.
Oh yeah, for the camera.
Cheers. There we go. That's really good.
Yeah, it's yummy.
Wow. Alright. Well guys, thank you for joining us today on this special first episode of Brewing. And again, you can also grab a bag online at alwayscoffee.co. The link is going to be somewhere in our bio where you can purchase it. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Hope you all are doing well. And we'll catch you in the next video.